to play it really well, and it's nice to see it on the comeback again.
I'm looking forward to seeing it. It looks like we are about to get into our first game here. Game 1 of this best of 7 between Ikannot Even and Empty Vanity. Going to be starting it out on an old Splatoon 1 favorite, Walleye Warehouse. And let's see how these two teams have allocated their team comps. As we said, so far, it's looking like we do see some longer range weapons, just 1 or 2 though. Both teams running that Forged Splattershot Pro, so the Bubble Blower are going to be coming into effect here. That Hero Brella as well. The Brella not as potent as it once was, but can still pack a wall for sure.
Oh, I think the Brella is still plenty scary. Plenty scary. Very good at protecting yourself and dealing out the damage, which is critical in a game like this with the Rainmaker, which is, you know, this weak moving target.
Full wipe coming in on Empty Vanity by Ikannot Even. So they have 3 players up. Mamba going to be the only one working on the Rainmaker shield right now. They will go ahead and try and get those picks as Empty Vanity comes back from spawn and the Bubble Blower is already out. Big pick coming up from Argo with that, I believe, 52 Gal, a very, very potent weapon that has a 2-shot kill potential. The Rainmaker carrier you can see is hanging back, letting the teammates go forward and get those picks.
This ramp is so aggravating to get by because you can't swim up it. You gotta try and make that arduous journey up. But look at this team. Look at Ikannot Even. They are making it happen. They are getting the picks, the ballers, and it is a great shield. A wall, and the dunk is gotten. That was a short game. Oh my gosh. The other team had the Rainmaker for only about 5 seconds before they were wiped and wiped again. And Ikannot Even got that dunk.
And you called it. Game 1 with Rainmaker could be very over quickly, and it really was. It ended in no time flat. We had a great early wipe. The teammates saved their specials for when they needed it the most. That Bubble Blower coming in huge to give their team that map control in the enemy side on their court area. And because of it, the Rainmaker stayed patient, was able to kind of hang out on that wall until that Brella was dead, and it gave them the early 1-0 lead over Empty Vanity so far.
I feel on Rainmaker, patience is, well, a virtue. It's it's so important. Don't rush Rainmaker unless you see like the slight window, the slight jumps you can make only to get the lead or to get the dunk. You know, otherwise, take the time, get your team together, maybe try and formulate a strategy of where to push. Don't rush it. That's probably the most integral thing. As we can see right there, it worked out in spades.
Exactly.
They were able to win that game because of it.
Now, as we move on to game number 2, which is going to be Splat Zones on Sturgeon Shipyard. This is a relatively large map. There's a lot of high ground potential here. Forge can still do very, very well on a map like this one because you can set up on either one of those stationary boxes or the rotating platform near mid and just kind of paint the zone freely. It is just a 1-zone map, so if you can lock the enemy team out, it's really difficult for them to get back in. There's not really any lanes to mid that can't be easily covered by the enemy team, so you have to really coordinate your team very, very well and make sure that you can lock down that zone early on and not let any ground be given up.
And I feel Splat Zones is it's probably one of my favorite game modes. It's a very turf-heavy mode. You got to control everything very well. Once people actually get in, it's about, well, holding it for as long as you can, keeping this wall up. If that wall drops, if people flank around, sometimes they can just find 1 or 2 picks, and that's all they need to get the rest of the team rushing in there.
And I'm excited to see if they stick with similar team comps as well. The Baller, I think, is going to be nice to have on this mode because it can kind of push the enemy team players back as well as give a large area of detonation on the zone. It's not a massive zone. There is some area you can see on the shoulders, the left and right, that won't be nearly as covered, and you can kind of hang out on those boxes for protection, but I think a lot of players won't see it coming. So if they can pop that Baller at the right time, maybe sneak up when they don't expect it, it'll also sort of carve a path for their teammates to get into the zone.
And while I feel Splashdown is one of the most quintessential specials on a lot of maps, this one, again, not as much because of the sort of curvature of the Splat Zone when you won't be guaranteed to cover all of it with a single Splashdown.
Now we are back here with the Brella, going to be building up that Inkstorm so quickly. Another fantastic special, but will go down before they're able to use it. Mamba claiming credit for that kill, and it will be a 2-down situation here. And now this is where Ikannot Even can start to set up some map control. They're already pushing very heavily in, going to get the pick onto the other Forge, and now they're going to look for more, being blocked by that Brella, and they're going to have to back off and use this Bubble Blower to try and keep them at bay. One is already down, but they get backed off, and they will fall as well, this time to the Enzap Nebby. Nebby trying to get back in. They have that ink armor, but it's only going to be shared to one other teammate as 2 of them are coming back from spawn. And now we have the suction bomb coming out, and it's going to be a very difficult journey for them to get in. I think they may have been a little optimistic, and indeed, they will go down.
Look at the dictionary. Go to the definition of the word thorough, and you will find a picture of Ikannot Even. They're getting the kills, they are getting the map, which is the most important part, And wow, they've gotten the lead. They have not fully given this up. They lost it a little bit, but look at that. It's been recaptured just like that.
Splashdown going to be used there by the roller. They're going to try and get back in. Slug still hanging around on the zone, but they're just getting outranged. You can see that Ikannot even has a couple of really long-range weapons. The shortest one really is that Octobrush that you were dying to see. Otherwise, they have that Fire Fin, which packs the Suction Bomb Rush, and the baller coming out from Argo, who will go down. Somehow able to stay alive is Finn, who will go down, and now Asahi is also going to fall too. It's just a bloodbath over by the zone.
Wait a minute.
Storm coming out, and this is where Empty Vanity can finally, I think, make a stand. Oh, will they be able to get it? The bubble blower is so close to coming out. They cannot get sniped, though.
No, that was so unfortunate for Empty Vanity. They almost had it.
Oh, no.
Almost had it.
That's unfortunate.
Wow, that was so close. Oh, they just needed like one more splat bomb, one more burst bomb of ink coverage.
Maybe one more main of special charge, too. If they've been able to build up that bubble blower just a little bit quicker, I think they would have been able to cap the zone, but it was just a bit overwhelming. Ikannot even for that going to be taking game 2 as well. Beautiful job there by Mama, just kind of outraging the opponents and getting off a bubble blower as well in a crucial moment where they were spawn camping Empty Vanity. It took them quite a while for them to get out. It took them about a minute, which gave Ikannot even a very, very solid lead.
And in terms of momentum, that's a bit rough. That's a bit rough. The first Rainmaker game went so fast. That game, you were so close to capping the zone at the very last moment. You had that hope. You had the hope that the potential was there. It wasn't close to a victory, but you were close to being in the race. Squashed, killed, stomped. But because it's Splatoon and because you can get picks at any time, you know, it's definitely not over.
And it's definitely not over. As you said, we are going to be going over to Moray Towers, a huge map, an absolutely massive map that is going to be very fun to watch for Rainmaker. I love seeing how teams allocate themselves, where they maneuver. Some teams like to take that more straightforward center wall and try and climb up the streets that way, but more often we see teams go all the way over to the left, try and climb up that wall with the grading on it. It's that overlook where snipers can easily set up those, so a lot of teams will be ready, sort of like how on Muscle Forge Fitness, every team's going to be going over to that right-hand side ramp for the Rainmaker. This is the preferred path, so will either of these teams deviate from the norm, and will they change their weapon comps? Because for Empty Vanity, you know, you have to pull out sort of all the stops and say, if we've been saving anything, we're down 2 games. This is the opportunity for us to pull it out.
And normally with Rainmaker, Stingray is so powerful at being able to target people at all the time. But because of this stage's verticality, usually you don't see that come out as much. And we're going to see a good amount. It looks like actually not too much switching right now. That Tri-Slosher is going to be very nice on a map with these vertical slopes such as these, though. Asashi going in right now. Ikannot even trying to get that early dominance in the early game right here.
I do absolutely love the Tri-Slosher. We're also seeing a crack on roller weapon that has not seen too much play, but it is a good choice here so far for Asahi, who's trying to just get that last hit on, I believe, the forward. Danae will fall, as I believe it is the end tap actually takes them out. Nebby, they're going to build up that Ink Armor and share with their friends here. The Inkstorm also going out on mid. Just being popped right now is that Rainmaker on the overlook. It's going to be picked up by the board, but what a flank there by Meep. Meep going to get a clutch kill on the Rainmaker carrier as nice defense here, and that will be a push of up to 69, as Meep is just trying to make sure that nobody from Empty Vanity can even touch the Rainmaker shield. Gets a beautiful kill there as well onto Vin, and they may get another chance to keep this Rainmaker going.
Meep is going wild. Are you kidding me? They were only just put down now. But they had such a nice flank coming in there, just getting people who had already been gotten. But now it is still on the side of Ikannot even. Empty Vanity trying to snuff them out a little bit. They have an Ink Armor out right now. They're going to be trying to stop that Rainmaker, but they are getting pushed back right now as Ikannot even really just keeps going through. Meep from behind.
Meep wreaking havoc, unfortunately gets crushed there by Slug. Gets rolled over by that Splat Roller, so they will go 3 down, but a fantastic push that is not done yet. Asahi waiting to pick up the Rainmaker for that right opportunity. They want to expend the baller first as the members of Empty Vanity are jumping down.
What?
Actually going on the left-hand side of the wall.
Oh, excuse me?
I don't believe it, and they may actually not even get this kill. They do finally find it onto Vin, but the Splattershot Pro will end up taking them out, and that Rainmaker still has not moved.
Everyone's dead.
Only one player left alive. It's only the Forge left.
I didn't even know you could do that with a baller. Is that even possible?
That wall is inkable, so yes, I suppose so, but Mama going to be trying to push back a little bit. That Rainmaker still has not been popped. It hasn't even left that area for the entirety of the game since it moved.
This is what a hold is. This is a defensive, aggressive hold. Like, we're not going to put up the wall closer to our area. We're going to put it up right here, and the bubbles are coming out.
Beautiful dueling there by Mama. Going to pop the bubbles as well. Going to make sure that Rainmaker shield gets popped, and they're going to get the kill on Vin as well. Now they're using the ink rails to maneuver forward again. Your feet have to touch the ground for you to get those points, and they will continue this push all the way into the 20s.
Ooh.
Trying to back off, but they're being flanked around by Nebby, who's looking for that kill, and they will take out Asahi before popping the ink armor. It's a 4v1 situation now as we see that double kill from Nebby, and finally it looks like that push for Ikannot even may be over.
They needed to jump it down, and they have. They finally jumped it down. They put it back into neutral. They put it back in the middle. That was so key that they were able to do that, because so far Ikannot even has kept it away from the middle of the map for so long. Good trade right there. 2 down in a 1 down situation right here.
Yeah, I think textbook dueling for both of those players. A very dangerous game they were playing. I think they needed to back off because the roller, they played within the roller's optimal range, which is a big mistake, and the Rainmaker fell because of it. Now it's a 3v2 situation here. Rainmaker starting to move back in Ikannot's favor. They do have the map control, although in mid it's starting to seem a little bit more split. They're going to be using the ink rail now, trying to get over again. They're having Meep push forward and be their main offensive aggressor to try and get those picks. The baller from Asahi also coming out, but it looks like they can't find a target for it. They have a path painted, and Meep is just making sure that nobody can jump down. Gets 1 kill there, and it looks like it's a 1v2 situation with the Tri-Slosher going up against the N-Zap and the Brella.
But Meep is not dead, and that's so quintessential in this matchup, because here he comes. Meep coming in from the side is going to be taking that trade, but they still got 2 down in that like really integral situation. The Rainmaker is going to go down on the side of Team Vanity. So right now, Ikannot even is just looking to hold it for as long as they can, because right now they have a nice lead, and frankly, Empty Vanity needs to try and find the push in E.
Unfortunately, Empty Vanity has spent too much time playing defense and not enough time on the offensive. They haven't been able to get those odd man advantages that they really like, in large portion because of Meep, who's now dead, and it's a 2-down situation, so they're 4v2, now 4v1, and they really need to make use of this. They have the splash down at the ready here from the Roller Slug, who's going to be pushing forward to try and get some of the people who are coming back from spawn. The Inkstorm coming out as well to try and get some of that map control that they so desperately need, and Slug pushing forward here with the curling bomb. It looks like they're going to be going up that left-hand side wall. A beautiful overlook, but Meep is looking for that Rainmaker, and they are hungry. It's a 3v2 situation.
They're all
now,
there.
2v2. Argo looking for the Rainmaker, but they've gone up the wall, and they're getting so close.
Wait a minute.
They did get all the way up the wall, so they're at 41. This could happen.
That's true. Nebby is still right there. Nebby's still right there. Slug is right there. They are waiting for them to pop the Rainmaker so they can rush in and get the kills and hopefully get something started. But Meep, realizing their strategy, is hopping down and is taking care of people. Only the Brella left alive, but they're nowhere to be seen.
Yeah,
Ikannot even holding it so well and starting to make a slight push away from their zone to try and keep this game in their hole.
Vin going to be crushed there by Asahi on that Kraken roller, who's placing beacons down just in case any members of Ikannot even die. Slug going to be able to get the kill, and now the double onto Argo. It's really trying to make use of it for their team. They have just a Kraken roller left alive, but again, they have those beacons to jump to. They have to be very careful to watch for members spawning behind them. Slug is going to go down to Asahi. The Rainmaker carrier Nebby is staying back in that ink, which is a very smart move. They have 50 seconds left before this Rainmaker will explode.
Oh my gosh, and they have map control. That is good. They have a little bit of map control, but right now they're being pushed back, and here comes the close range assassins coming right to them. Nebby, it's up to you. Can you survive under this onslaught? But no, they could not do it. That is going to be a 3-0 for Ikannot even.
I admire the survivability of that Rainmaker, but it is going to be a tough journey for Empty Vanity, who now needs to reverse sweep Ikannot even in order to come away with the Bronze Bracket Amateur Bracket Championship. Let's see what it looks like on the score sheet. Asahi with the 16 KA popping 3 ballers, and Meep not even caring too much about the ink armor, says, just give me those kills. They come away with a 15 KA.
Ikannot even had a very even kill spread right there. We had like a 15 and all the rest were 13s. That shows that every member of the team was contributing nicely to just keeping the zones under control. Maybe that shows a little bit of overextension. Maybe that shows a little bit of they were overextending but getting the kills. I mean, Meep was going behind and getting so many kills, but yet everyone else was getting kills there too. So clearly, you know, everyone's pulling their weight very, very nicely in this game.
Even with the Rainmaker staying for the first, 2.5, 3 minutes on the Empty Vanity side of the map, I feel that once they got control of mid, they showed a lot of patience, didn't push their luck with anything, didn't try and advance the Rainmaker too far, got up that wall even, but at that point, they had people like Meep flanking around them, just didn't have the support to keep that Rainmaker alive. And 24, especially on a map like Moray Towers, is a lot to ask for. So where in a lot of other games, 41 might be a game-winning push, it was not enough this time around.
With Moray Towers, I feel this map actually benefits a lot from flanking. Because while a lot goes unused, you still have a lot of areas you can just jump down and rain fire in, especially if you have something like the Tri-Slosher or the bucket with the Deco Slosher, pardon me. you're just going to have a lot of area to just keep on raining fire down from above. And we saw the Roller get a few kills exactly like that in those situations.
So the graphic here, I don't believe, is completely correct. We will be moving on to Clam Blitz Manta Maria. Again, a very, very interesting map mode combination. It's a very straightforward map, so something like a Stingray can be absolutely devastating. I see a lot of teams running Sloshing Machine. It has not lost a lot of traction with the changes it's gone through. The auto bomb can still be as devious as ever. Even professional players really don't expect the auto bomb sometimes. It just kind of sneaks up on them when they're in the middle of a firefight, and that can get you some clutch kills. But if you just push back and use things like even Tenta Missiles, I feel like, can be very, very good on this map if you use them in tandem with other specials.
See, with this mode, it's a unique mode because you need players that can play defense, but also flexibly move up to the middle, collect some clams, and get some clams for the rest of their team to let them make the push to get the scores.
Here we go, game number 4. This could be the championship game of the bronze finals for Ikannot even, but it could also be the start of a reverse sweep for Empty Vanity. Let's see how this one goes. In terms of weapons, we do have some major changes here. Empty Vanity going to be going with the Endperry Dualies. They're going to be bringing that Inkjet out, as well as the Blaster. That's going to give the Toxic Mist a try. Not a sub that we see all the time, but it can do wonders in slowing down the movements of your enemy, especially if they have one of those power clams.
And I feel with Inkjet, because we have the Endperry Dualies, with the Inkjet, you're going to be able to try, from on high, aim down, try and pick off the most key important targets in this game. And wow, how did Mama survive that? But also get the kill on the power clam carrier. But in this case, Slug will just grab the power clam and is going to be jumping right in there. The zone is down, and that's going to be a 57-point push immediately, right off the bat, right out the gates.
And that's a strategy we've seen a couple of times in Clam Blitz, especially on Manta Maria. Yesterday we saw an Ink Brush using a lot of quick super jump to make it over there, but I like this strategy especially because they have that splashdown at the ready. They were able to pop it just in case anyone was camping that jump, and they were able to get that barrier all the way down, almost to the halfway mark. But Meep now trying to lock it down here. They're halfway to a power clam themselves, and it's looking like Ikannot even is starting to build up some specials. Big kill there onto Nebby as they get detonated by the bubbles, and it looks like Ikannot even may have a shot of their own soon.
Here we go. We have 9 clams on Vin right now. They're going to be trying to find their end, but they were waiting for him. But even then, they were still managing to get something. They need 1 clam. They need 1 clam. No, look at them retreat. They needed 1 more clam. They had the opening that they required, but they did not have the necessities to do it. But now that Inkjet is going to be coming out, only to be taken out by Meep with that bucket, who now has the power clam, is going to be trying to come around the side here, but you got to be really careful because they got flanked right there. Nebby coming out of nowhere, but all of a sudden this Roller is contesting them nicely, and that is going to be a trade.
Yeah, Meep gonna get taken out. Meep usually the one doing the flanking, but in that case, they got flanked around by Nebby there. Argo, speaking of which, gonna take out Slug. Gonna try and get another one here with the ball where they'll be roaming around just to try and get some clams, if nothing else, or assist Meep at least. Argo trying to push forward here. It looks like Ikannot even has some map control here in mid, and now they can start to get that power clam built up. The Ink Armor coming out as well. Some members of Empty Vanity are coming back from spawn, and they're mostly relegated to these left and right hand side court areas, which is in favor of Ikannot even in terms of how they're playing so far.
And if you look in the top right there, you can see each team's total clam count, and we can see there is 1 power clam on the side of Ikannot even, but even then it's been dropped. They have nothing. They need to get something started. And, they can't get something started with just 10 clams. They need a lot of clams to beat 51.
Somehow, whenever Mamba is backed into a corner, they come away with a kill. That shouldn't happen.
That's the range of the
alive. They got another kill there.
Pro.
It's amazing. Like, the Splattershot Pro is good solely because it not only has the range, but it has fantastic kits, both on the normal and on the Forge especially. The Bubble Blower, speaking of which, going to be coming out to help lock down some more of that map control as Mamba starts to build up that super clam. They're 3 away now. They're going to detonate it, but nobody's around the area. They just need 1 more clam, but they're being flanked around by Vin. Can't find that final shot, and they will fall, so the power clam will go down, and that's a full wipe on the Empty Vanity by Ikannot even, and here comes the barrier break. That's their first one of the game.
This is what they needed. This is exactly what they needed. Argo trying to go down there and get some early kills, and it looks like they are not going to be entirely able to make it. They do have 6 clams in total. They do have 6 clams in total, but no one is close enough to actually make it happen. That super quick jump is going to be snuffed out real fast. A clam carrier did make it in, but they were not able to make it in far enough.
Yeah, Nebby with a great double kill there. That was a very optimistic jump in by Meep, and they got punished for it heavily. Slug already starting to build up that power clam. They're 2 away from it. In the meantime, though, the Roller there, I believe that Slug very, very close to a power clam of their own. This score is very, very close. 1.5 minutes left. They should have plenty of time to pop that barrier once again. The Ballers at the ready here for Asahi, and they don't really have map control in mid that much, so they need to pop it soon. They're being very heavily pressured, and they're almost going to get taken out by that suction bomb. Multiple clams here at the ready as they get 1 kill and look for another one with this Baller here. The Inkjet is out, but they will find the 2nd kill there onto Vin. Looking for the third on whoever's holding the power clamp, but they're slowed down, so that movement is going to be very heavily delayed.
And right now, in a game like this, Asahi needs to keep the map in their favor in order to take the best use of those beacons. But unfortunately, right now, Empty Vanity's hold of the map is so good, they can't keep those beacons in play, which are going to be pretty quintessential for getting things into the basket. Right now, Argo struggling to stay alive as Empty Vanity swarms around them, holding on desperately to the one win they need right now to keep themselves in the bracket.
Yeah, that was a perfectly executed pincer maneuver there, and now we have one player with that power clamp at the ready, just over 30 seconds left to go in this game. They're going to be trying to get it over that barrier, but it's being very heavily protected by Ikannot Even, but the onus is on Ikannot Even right now. They're the ones who have the deficit. They need to be building up that power clamp themselves instead of waiting for Empty Vanity to come to them.
That's true, and again, they still have no map control, or rather, Ikannot Even doesn't have the map control they need, but this is a really big push right here. That baller is such a good way to get something started, but unfortunately, they did not have the power clamp they needed to really get something going. It looks like they're going to be 3 down. There are bubblers right now, but there's only one person alive, and they do not have a power clamp, and that is going to be it. Empty Vanity on the boards, 3-1 situation.
Yeah, nice job putting up sort of a goal line stand, saying we are not going to leave this at least being swept. We are going to put up a great fight here. And they really did come out of that gate swinging, had a very, very good performance. They started doing some flanking themselves and beat Meep to the punch a lot of times, where on games like the Rainmaker Mori Towers game, Meep was just absolutely running through them with those flanks and being very sneaky on the walls.
Now, hands up in chat if you like Rainmaker, because we're about to see another Rainmaker Kelp Dome.
We promise this is the last one for the set, even if it goes to a Game 7. But of all the maps to play Rainmaker on, I really do enjoy Kelp Dome for it. I love the grading on this map. It's fantastic for weapon classes like Splatlings, who want to just run back and forth on them and just mow people down from above. So I would not be surprised to see something like a heavy Splatling Deco, which can make use of something like the Bubble Blower and try and keep that map control in your favor.
Still, though, on pushes on this map are so... You got to be so careful. You got to be so careful. There's so many, like, tight areas you have to go through. When it's an open area, it's a really open area. When it's a tight area, it's really, claustrophobic. It's really claustrophobic. You got to really try and find the kills and find your ins and be patient and make sure you have a safe passage before you try and make anything happen.
It's also pretty interesting to see whether any of these teams want to be kind of sneaky and run something along the grading, or if they want to take the more traditional path, which is through that choke point. And the choke point can be very, very difficult to get through, but once you're there, that's basically the point you need to get to. You don't even need to dunk it. It's very difficult for both teams to get through that checkpoint in one game, just because of how large the map is and how easy the potential is for flanking on this map, because you have a few different options of getting to mid. You can go through that choke point on the far left, you can take the ramp on the far right and go to where the bush was in Splatoon 1. There's usually a box that you can use to get directly to mid, or you just set up on the grading if you have something like a heavy Splatling or a Splattershot Pro.
The grading is so useful in this map. But following up on what you said before,
the map list is incorrect. We're actually going to Inkblot Tower Control.
Ah, so yes.
There wasn't
hands down
RM concentration.
Ah, so we are shifting the map now, actually. It is going to be instead Tower Control on Inkblot Art Academies, but still a very fun map to watch. I equate it sort of to Museum de Alfonsino in Splatoon 1, because you have that low ground middle area that you have to control, and I would sort of allocate my team as being either 2 or 3 members sort of being short range, boots on the ground, get into that middle of the area and lock down anybody that's foolish enough to challenge you, and then get 1 or 2 long-range players, maybe a sniper, Splatling, Splattershot Pro, who can just stay on top of that platform, that raised platform, and mow people down from above, because that allows you to sort of keep 1 or 2 of your members safe and have specials like the Bubble Blower at the ready to maintain that map control from afar if you need to.
And along with the 2.0 update that happened a little while ago, I feel Inkblot Art Academy had some of the most interesting map changes. Now with the extra slope in the little pit area to the left and right, that allows players to take a little bit more of an interesting approach to how they want to push the tower and how they want to push the objective. So I'm looking forward to see how teams utilize their map, how teams utilize this mode, because we still haven't seen this mode yet. We've seen a few games come out, but it's always been Rainmaker, Splat Zones, or Clamblets. We haven't seen the tower control yet, which is sometimes really important.
And tower control is a lot more measured than something like Rainmaker. You can't just push the tower as fast as you want to. It moves at a set rate. So no matter how you work it, even if you get a full wipe, the enemy team's going to be coming back within, 20 points of your push.
This is correct.
So we do have the correct map list up right now. It is going to be Tower Control Inkblot Art Academy.
Oh, we're seeing
if we need a Game 6, it will be Splat Zones on a Humpback Pump Track. And then if we need a Game 7, 7, we will end up seeing the Rainmaker on Kelp Dome, which is a fantastic choice, in my opinion, for a Game 7.
So I want to bring up something that we saw yesterday, which was the Rapid Blaster Pro.
Yes.
So on tower control, it used to be the biggest thing. Rapid Blaster Pro just could constantly provide so much pressure, and just blasters in general, but more specifically the Rapid Blaster Pro in this specific situation. You're able to provide so much pressure from a distance. You talked earlier about how you want some long-range weapons. Wouldn't surprise me if we saw a Rapid Blaster Pro come out and just pressure the tower both on it and off of it throughout the entire game.
Again, the Toxic Mist, not a sub we see all that often, but the weapons that it comes on are very, very handy with that special. They pair very, very well. So you have things like the normal blaster. Normal blaster is going to have Toxic Mist and then the Splashdown. So you can lock them down in that little area and then splash down them if you get into trouble if you take too many shots. With something like the Rapid Blaster Pro, if you want to throw it on the tower and slow them down, maybe make it more difficult for them to get off of the tower so they're easy pickings, you can lock it down and then throw that Ink Storm away so that you can get map control either in the middle of the map or on the tower itself.
Blasters are one of those weapons that can make a really good push, and it can really hold a really good wall. And I love seeing that flexibility. On something like tower control, where you can move yourself without having to move yourself, you know, just staying on the tower and being able to fire and both hold the wall while making an offensive push. I feel that's where Blaster shines the most. And we are going to be seeing at least one. Is that a range blaster? No, that is a normal blaster coming out, but no blasters coming out from good old empty Vanity, if I'm not mistaken. But we do see, interestingly, a brush still coming out, reminding me back to the old Inkjet days.
Yeah, the Octobrush just provides such great offensive pressure. It makes it so that anybody who gets close to the tower is going to be in a lot of trouble. And speaking of trouble, empty Vanity already fully wiped, and Ikannot even going to be starting to lock down their plat as well. The Tri-Slosher Beep going to be getting up there as quickly as they can, and the Ink Armor is going to be coming out just in case those spawners try anything funky. Asahi going to be trying to get some picks here with the Inkjet as well, and it's working. They've gotten 2 down again already.
And now that they have this wipe, they can just keep on moving this wall up, just keeping this indomitable force that you cannot mess with. Look at them. Oh, wait, actually, never mind. Speaking of cannot mess with them, never mind that, because Empty Vanity coming out here and almost getting a reverse wipe. And I cannot even, in fact, they actually did manage to do that, a reverse quad back to back.
Yeah, definitely want to shout out Jay there, who caught that fantastic delayed triple with the end zap by Nebby. Beautiful job there to give some momentum back to Empty Vanity, who really needs it. 51 is not an overwhelming push, but it is a good push for the first minute of the game. Nice job there to get that hit off by Slug onto Meep. That's one of the biggest offensive presences of Ikannot even down. Big splashdown to stay alive as well, and now they're going to be taken down by the bubble. Mamba not being afraid to move forward with this Forge.
I love how you brought it before, how we're going to see a little bit of a, every so often people still get trapped by the good old auto bomb. Someone had to just expend a whole splashdown in order to actually get away from one.
No kidding. So map control now starting to look a little bit more split. Ikannot even trying to get back into mid. Slug being backed off here by this Inkjet, and they're not very close to their splashdown at all, so they're going to have to deal with anybody that's coming up towards them. They do have a bubble here, not able to take out Mamba. Again, Mamba backed into a corner and still able to come away with a kill. That just shows their patience and their perfect aim with this weapon.
And right now, look at this. They have a lot of control over the tower. Actually, never mind. It looks like Empty Vanity is coming out here with those Toxic Mists.
Yes.
Just keeping people away. He had the moment. Mamba had a moment up top on the top of a little bit of a plateau. There comes the Toxic Mist, pushing him right away from it.
And the baller not going to be able to get detonated there by the 52. Argo going to go down to the duo team of Vin and Nebby. That's 3 down for Ikannot even. They've only lost 1 in the process, so they need to hop on this tower now. A couple of bubbles still remaining here for Ikannot even, but nobody's around to pop them, so they will dissipate. Nebby going to be the one on the tower. You usually don't want your shorter range weapons like the Enzap to be the one on the tower, but they will at least activate the Ink Armor. Mamba again being backed up over and over again. Argo trying to get back on them. They will take away the Ink Armor, but no kills remaining.
Look at Argo just slaughter that Ink Armor, and right now trying to find a kill, but Nebby's movement was too fast for them.
Wow.
They got this game in the bag right now.
Yeah, got an assist there as well on the Tri-Slusher, so they will be able to get back on the tower here. They have their Umbrella on the tower for now, but the bubbles are coming in. They're going to be popped on the tower, and the member that was on it will go down. Mom is still alive. They're able to get an assist there, but not a full kill. It's a bloodbath here as there's 3 down for Empty Vanity, and it looks like that push might end, but Slug still staying alive. Nobody opting to jump to him, though, and as he gets taken down by Meep, that will be the end of the push.
See, look, Meep was annoyed that we hadn't been talking about them in a while, and all of a sudden, there they come out of nowhere, getting a double right there. And it looks like Ikannot even is getting some nice map control before taking this tower. Nebby is going to try and contest it a little bit, but right now they need to form a little bit more of a wall to get things going. Asashi with that Inkjet going to be trying to poke people off from their plateau up there.
It seems to be working. They were able to get somebody to back up a little bit. No kills, but they were able to force back a couple of members. Vin trying to keep these bubbles from popping as the members of Ikannot even are trying to push this tower even further.
Ooh.
57, not good enough, obviously, so they will have to work hard in this last minute and a half. Vin not even close to their Inkstrom yet. They're just trying to keep Argo back, and they will successfully do that. But they are the last member alive, so they will get flanked around, and this push will continue for Ikannot even.
And this is really important because if they can get past this second checkpoint, that's going to be a lot of power to them. But wait. Yes, they were able to make it past, and now they're really making a little bit of a run for it, as only one person is left alive on Empty Vanity, but not even anymore, because those bubbles are coming out, just keeping people away. They are on the last checkpoint, and they are now through it. This is their chance. It is 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Oh, wait a minute.
A couple of clutch kills coming in there. No, they go down. Oh, a last-ditch effort is not enough for Empty Vanity, and Ikannot even able to hold it down, getting the knockout, and they will win the bronze finals.
That was so close. You saw that push, that last second of hope come in at the very last moment, but no, the rest of the people on Empty Vanity, or pardon me, Ikannot even, just flooding in there, keeping people out and securing that victory. What an amazing set we saw right there.
Seems like the crowd really enjoyed that one. Empty Vanity putting up a good fight there, even coming away with a win in Game 4, but Ikannot even showing why they deserve to be here and proving that they are the best team from the bronze bracket. Fantastic performance from them. Got to give a shout out to a couple players like Meep. So fun to watch on that Tri-Slosher, pulling off a couple of great flanks. And the Octobrush, like you said, always a fun weapon to watch. We got to see that thing in action. With that 3-shot kill potential, it's a devastating weapon.
Plus, we had a little bit of Autobomb action in there.
Yeah.
We had some Inkjet out action in there. I still think I want to see some more Drop Roller. Once this weapon gets it, hey, look, this is a message to the players. Once you see more Inkjet coming back in the meta.
For Clam Blitz especially, I think Drop Roller would be fantastic.
That's very true.
If you're not coming in with a splashdown, if you don't have that as your specials, then Drop Roller would be fantastic so that you have a chance to throw that football, that power clam in and break the barrier.
That's an extremely good point because exactly, as soon as you can jump in there, a lot of people are going to be targeting any super jumping players. And even if you have quick super jumps, sometimes it's not enough. Sometimes people are going to mark it with a bomb or, you know, their weapons, their main weapons. And you're just going to be dead right there. But Drop Roller would get you out of that tense situation.
So we've got the Redemption bracket coming up. It's 12 teams, 3 pools, 4 in each pool. They're going to be playing each of each other, so that's 3 rounds.
Fighting to get into the
Lots
top 12.
of really talented teams. Like the caliber of team at this LAN, for 30 teams, like for there being only 30 teams here, it's stacked. Like it's unbelievably stacked. 150 players.
The pickups are even great.
Yeah.
The pickups are going in.
We had a pickup
names.
go 5-0. Like, you really cannot count anybody out that's either in the top 12 or the Redemption bracket. So I'm interested to see who emerges. I think as far as the pools go, Pool C or 3 is probably one of the more stacked. We've got teams like Deep Blues, Yami, really, really talented teams that are vying for one of those spots. And it's not clear in every pool who's going to make it out. I think there could be some teams that really surprise you.
There's already been a lot of surprises today. And look, all the players are flooding the stage right now. A lot of emotions came out from that last game between winning and losing. And oh, wow, a lot of stories are being told today. And I'm excited to see what more things unfold for us in the rest of this bracket.
Well, it's only a matter of time. We're going to be coming back with the Redemption bracket soon enough. But that was your bronze finals. Congratulations again to Ikannot even on first place in the amateur bracket and Empty Vanity on second. Do not go anywhere. We will have the first stages of the Redemption bracket coming back in just a moment.